Hey guys, Buffy Gaming back bringing another video today for our weapon conversion series, and today we're covering the Remington 870 TAC-14 DM, which was added today with the final update for Season 2 refresh here, giving us an ammo conversion kit for the Model 870 in-game. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this gameplay. I'm going to show you how to make the Remington 870 TAC-14 DM, the different conversions we can use, as well as the bundle that's available in shop, and we'll go ahead and build it and then test it out in-game against bots. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So here you see the final design for the weapon. Again, this is the Remington 870 TAC-14 DM. DM is there's a TAC-14 and there's a DM, and DM is designated for the detachable magazine variant that we see here on the Remington 870. So let's go ahead. First, we'll back out and check out the store. So the patch that was released today in store, we have the Talon Operator Pack as well as the Dragon's Breath bundle. So this is, you can see again, a caliber conversion pack, similar to what we saw with the Uzi, which was available in the beginning of Season 2. So you can see here, for this bundle itself, for 1,200 COD points, you get the Fire Drake blueprint for the 870, which is going to give you this TAC-14 DM, as well as the Dragon's Breath 6-round magazine on this weapon, as well as some other items here. But we're not covering this today. That's just one way you can get this if you don't want to go through the process of unlocking the attachments. Now, how do you unlock the attachments? If I go to one of our class setups here, and we select the Remington shotgun, and we go ahead and look at the ammunition. So the 12 gauge, so the 6-round box mag for the 12 gauge can be unlocked by getting 10 kills while in prone and defending an objective. The slugs get 5 kills in 5 different matches while aiming down sights and removing the stock attachment. Now the Dragon's Breath rounds, this is not going to be a detachable box magazine. For this one, you'll need to get 15 kills shortly after reloading. And then for the DM Dragon's Breath rounds or detachable box magazine, you'll need to get 3 long shot kills in 3 different matches while using Scout Optic class. So that's how you unlock these 4 new caliber conversions or ammo conversions for the Remington 870. Let's go ahead and back to our custom game where we have this set up. So those caliber conversions are going to allow you to make the TAC-14 DM. So here we have, I'm going to show you how I have it set up here, and then we're going to look at it in game with all of the different conversions. I'm going to skip out on just the regular rounds of the Dragon's Breath because we're going to cover the actual box mag variant of that instead of just looking at solo rounds with that. So first off, the attachments that I have, let me go ahead and strip this down. So we start with our basic Remington 870 or in-game here, the 680. So first off, what I want is I'm going to put on a choke. This is just going to allow for tighter pellet spread as well as damage at range, and the cons being the ADS speed. But we're going to mitigate that elsewhere, so that'll be fine. Now the barrel we're going to leave because the ammo conversion here is going to take care of this. It's going to be almost like a 2-for-1, what we see with integral suppressors on some of the assault rifles. The laser, I'm going to go ahead and put a 5 milliwatt just for hip fire accuracy and sprint to fire speed. The optic, I'm going to go with a operator reflex sight on this one. That's just personal preference. This is going to allow you to precision sight picture while adding a little bit ADS speed negation. But we're going to make up for that by taking off of the stock. We're going to go with a no stock option to this to give it as close to possible as a Magpul Raptor pistol grip. And now we're going to skip out on the perk. And the ammunition for this is going to be, we're going to start with the 6-round 12 gauge box magazine. So for this one, the detachable box magazine is going to assist with the ADS speed of the weapon, as well as giving us the box mag, and the cons being movement speed for the weapon. So for all the box magazines, we have very similar pros and cons. The slug rounds is obviously just going to add damage at range to that, and then the Dragon's Breath rounds are going to add incendiary damage. So if we go ahead and select the 12 gauge rounds to start, we'll preview the weapon. This is our final variant of the Remington 870 TAC-14 DM, or detachable magazine. So we have that 6-round detachable box magazine. Now, this weapon at base, you can see on screen, I'll show what the TAC-14 DM looks like at base. This particular blueprint has what looks like an aim point, or excuse me, an Aim Sports tactical quad rail, or even perhaps a Black Aces tactical universal quad rail here added onto the weapon. So you can see the Picatinny rail on the top, as well we have Picatinnys on the left, right, as well as on the bottom of the weapon as well. So custom quad rail, I'll link some images of that on screen as well as below where you can check that out. So this would be, again, another part of the conversion to put those custom Picatinny quad rails on the weapon. And you can see also we have the added mag well here on the weapon as well, with the detachable box magazine is going to be added. So personal preference is the 5 milliwatt. You can also go ahead and throw an underbarrel like a Commando foregrip on there as well, just to help with the recoil stabilization a little more. But we're going to go ahead and run this, and I'm going to check out the recoil patterns, and then we're going to see how they each handle in game. I'm going to just run into a custom game. We're going to check out how each of them handle. So we'll start with the slugs, the 12 gauge rounds, and we're going to look at the slugs as well as the Dragon Breath rounds, all for the detachable box magazine. Now, if you were not to add the detachable magazine for the Dragon's Breath, you can see your pros and cons just being the increased damage, the incendiary damage, and the cons being damage at range. But we're not going to cover that today. We're just going to look at the box magazines to convert to the TAC-14 DM. So again, this is the final variant of the Remington 870 TAC-14 DM. Let's go ahead and jump in game and see how the recoil handles on all three of these box magazine attachments. Okay, so now we're in game with our TAC-14 DM. We're going to start with just the 6-round detachable magazine for the slug rounds. So first off, I'll just ADS, and actually let's start down the wall a little further because we're going to try all these ammo types. So I'm going to start with ADSing, and we'll just fire off these rounds. So you can see there the pellet spread. And again, now if we hip fire it. Now, let me reload. We'll see how fast we can get off some of these rounds. Now you can see with the shotgun, we really don't have to worry about recoil since we're recentering after each shot here. We're getting right back on center, you can see. And that's as fast as you can pull the trigger. So there's not really any recoil. We're mainly focused on pellet spread, which you can see there. And then if we were just to hip fire. So this is the TAC-14 DM with the 12 gauge rounds. Let's go ahead and now look at the incendiary rounds. Okay, so now here we are with the incendiary rounds on the TAC-14 DM. Let's go ahead and check out how these spread. So there you can see the spread a lot tighter than we saw with the 12 gauge rounds, and then obviously we have the incendiary effect. This is gonna just destroy opponents. So you can see there's a spread. Not nearly as much, and then if we just hip fire with our 5 milliwatt laser, you can see the effect of the incendiary rounds there. So those are the incendiary rounds. Now let's look at the slug rounds. Okay, here we are with the TAC-14 DM slug rounds. So let me just let this rip all 6 rounds, and we'll take a look at it. So there we are, pulling the trigger as fast as we can. And you can see very tight, very accurate with these slug rounds. Let's go back a little bit at range and see what the distance is on this and how accurate we can actually be. So let's try it again. You can see the reload there. Very nice. So you can see there we had a little bit of drop and a little more spread at that type of range, but you can be fairly accurate with this gun. You can see right there, we're basically almost like a sniper rifle. So now if I were to hip fire just with the 5 milliwatt laser, you can see there a little bit of spread, but not too bad. Obviously with the slugs, you're not going to be hip firing unless you're in a CQC situation where you absolutely have to. Otherwise you want to ADS and hit your target very accurately. So this is the TAC-14 DM. Let's go ahead and now jump in game, custom game with bots, and see how all 3 of these caliber conversions handle with the TAC-14 DM. Okay, so now we're in game with our Remington 870 TAC-14 DM with the tactical quad rail on the weapon itself here from Aim Support or even Black Aces. Let's go ahead and now see how it handles. We're starting out with just the regular 6 gauge rounds, or 12 gauge rounds, excuse me. So there we go, firing that at the hip. Check out what try and see what we can see what the range is on this weapon.
That's a kill. Got a personal radar drone ready for escort. No.
There we go. So you can see how this handles. Very versatile, especially the way we have it set up. The movement speed is very good, besides that bot camping in the corner there. But you can see movement speed with this really good, being the 12 gauge rounds that we have here. Now obviously, even with the choke, this isn't really going to be ideal for range. But we were able to make it work right there. So again, that's a 12 gauge shells on the weapon. See if we can get a little bit more action with this. So you can see right there, just devastating at a close quarters, slightly medium range with the weapon.
Got a personal radar drone ready for escort.
Oh no. Alright, let's try it again. And then we'll switch over to the incendiary rounds for this weapon. Obviously, this is what you're going to want to use at short range. This is what this particular conversion is built for, especially with the attachments we have on it. The slug rounds, obviously, as you'll see when we jump to those, are going to be something you can operate more so at a medium to a longer range for a shotgun. So let's see if we can sneak up on some of these guys. So you see there, we actually got him at range, but it took quite a lot of rounds. So now let's try the incendiary rounds on the TAC-14 DM. So I'll swap over to the Dragon's Breath rounds. We'll try these. Okay. Let's go ahead and see how these work. Obviously, these are going to also operate at close range. So you can see they're extremely effective. Wait for these guys to come to us. There we go. There we go, and we have our Black Mamba on sling. I'll be doing a conversion for this upcoming as well. And you can see there the incendiary rounds hit you even at a range. If they don't kill you instantly, they burn you to death. So just like an incendiary grenade, it's going to do the same thing. You can see those are all one-hit kills. It's just sending the enemy flying. Oh no, I was out of ammo. So that 6 rounds it has with box mag. Obviously with faster reload, sleight of hand, it's going to reload much faster. So the Remington TAC-14 DM specifications. Okay, that's a friendly. Let's see if we can get a couple more kills with this. So these are really fun to use just because they're destroying the enemy with it. Just like that, they go flying.
Got a personal radar drone ready for escort. We're halfway there. Keep fighting.
See if this guy's gonna come around the corner. Reload. You can see even without sleight of hand, it's a fairly fast reload time. 1, 2. So you can see they just go flying with this. A lot of fun to use for sure. And here we have our Black Mamba for these longer range engagements. This is a SIG low visibility assault weapon, which we'll be covering in a future video upcoming. So we'll try once more here with the incendiary rounds, get a couple kills, and then we're going to switch over to the slugs and see how those handles on the TAC-14 DM. Let's see if we can find some of these guys. Oh no. So the TAC-14 DM, overall, so the average weight for the weapon is 6 pounds. The gauge barrel is 12 gauge. Typically, obviously, we're using it with the incendiary rounds on this particular build of the weapon. So you can see they're not really preferable at range. Let's try it again with the... Let's try it with the slug rounds now. So if I switch to the DM version of the slug rounds, go ahead and use these at a more ranged engagements. Oh boy. This is the problem, is you got to be accurate with these ones. I'm not the most accurate, especially with a shotgun. But there you can see we were able to pick those guys off, one shot apiece. The TAC-14 DM, as I was saying, in real life, average weight is 6 pounds. Mag capacity is 6 that we have here. Whoa. There we go. Our Black Mamba came in handy there. Saved our asses. There we go. So the barrel length on the TAC-14 DM is 14 inches. So we see with that conversion kit for the ammo, we get the custom barrel that we cannot edit, as well as the custom quad rail that's added to the weapon as well. So try and get a couple more engagements with this at range. So again, 14-inch barrel on all 3 of these conversions. There's one. Okay, let's try and get up here and get this guy.
Copy. Coverage.
1, 2. Then we gotta reload. You can see I'm horribly inaccurate with this thing. There we go. Okay, so we have a thick cylinder choke on the weapon in real life. Single bead for the sights. The receiver finish typically comes in matted blue. And the overall length of the weapon with our Raptor pistol grip here that we're trying to replicate with the no stock option is going to be 26.3 inches. So you can see the slugs handle really well, especially at a medium range. And I was able to get that guy there. So this is the TAC-14 DM, Remington 870 TAC-14 DM. The only difference between the TAC-14 and the DM is that the DM, as we discussed, is a detachable magazine. So it comes with the detachable box magazine and a custom mag well on the weapon. So we could probably add some different attachments to make this do more damage. You can see here, even up close there, it's taking 2 shots to kill. Oh, darn. So let's go ahead and put the Incendiary rounds back on, because I think those are the most fun rounds to use here. So we'll put the Incendiary rounds back on the Remington TAC-14 DM. So let me know what you guys think of this. I think this is a really good caliber conversion. I like these conversion packs. This gives me hope that maybe we'll see 5.56 rounds added for the SCAR to give us a Mark 16 or a SCAR Light in the future. We could also see some different caliber conversions like 9mm rounds added for the Ram 7 to give us the MTAR, as well as it seems to be that like all the bots for some reason are using shotguns right now. It must be if I use shotguns, they're going to use shotguns. But it gives me hope that we'll get 5.56 rounds for the SCAR, maybe 9mm for the Ram 7 to make the MTAR, 9mm conversions for the, there we go, for the SIG 550 or the Grau 5.56 to make the FME Mini SAF. So there's a lot of different caliber conversions. It'd be nice to see a 7.62 added for the M4 so we can make a proper SR25 or even a MK17, or excuse me, an HK417. So I think that'd be really nice to see, given especially that we get a custom quad rail and the handguard on this with the Picatinny quad rail on this. I think it gives me hope that if we got a 7.62 attachment for the M4 for a 417, it would give us a custom handguard and rail attachments as well to make a different weapon like we see here with the TAC-14. So let me know what you guys think of this. Again, this is the final product of the Remington 870 TAC-14 DM. And until next time, Buffner Gaming out.